Hello Vikings and welcome back. After my little vacation to the UK, saw some awesome museums. Well, while I was there, we got a dev server for Fire and Ice. So just gonna be a real quick walkthrough of everything. Gonna be jumping around a bit because I'm just gonna follow the dev notes for the server, and most of the stuff has already been shown. I'm a bit late to the party, seeing as I haven't been home, so let's just get into it. First off, with the T2 early for Japan. Nice little premium. Might be... I don't know. Might be a bit of a pain, but... yeah, those aren't great missiles for 9.7. But, I mean, arguably still a better premium than the F-86. And thus have some slightly better missiles at least. And a rank higher, so you can actually research everything. Next up, we got a whole bunch of stuff for Sweden. Well, is it technically Sweden? We got the Finnish Air Force. We got a Fokker, which is literally just the same as the premium, but different guns. We got a Ju-88, which is again literally just the same as the German Tech 3 ones. Slightly different paint job, but nothing special there. Is1 Again, nothing really special about these except some slight differences in paint. Next up, we got a vampire, which again, I mean, it's just a vampire with different paint. But unlike the one we already have in the Swedish tech tree, this one gets bombs, an RP3, so it has the standard armaments. Let's just compare it to here. Yeah, the 15 centimeter and 14.5 centimeter rockets, which are good, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have an option with bombs. Not that you have an 8-0 lineup anyway, but you know. And lastly, we have an actual Swedish plane. There is more slated to join in on this line, but these are the 4 Finnish and 1 Swedish we get for now on the dev server. And this one is just a Swedish Hunter. It's AB-24s at 9.3, 30 mils. It's gonna be a nice supplement to the J-32. They're fairly similar in most aspects, so that'll be cool. Next up, we got the M182 Set with the Tusk kit that I can't actually show because I'm not even close to having the tank, but I mean, ultimately it's just another bloody Abrams. Something I actually got kinda excited about and actually had on the books for my wish list for German tank destroyers. That's little lovely fella. I mean, there's nothing really new about any of the things with it. I wish it got its machine gun on the back here, actually. That would be nice. But yeah, it's the half-track, 251 half-track we all know, and the short 75mm gun we all know. Mount even exists on the on the Stubby Puma already. The chassis itself, we got 3 different versions of already, so... I mean, it's cool to see another World War II vehicle, but it's not exactly unique. Still gonna play it and have an absolute laugh. The Yak Panthers... There's there it is. Oh, not test drive. New models, slightly crisper, slightly more detail and all the junk scattered around the sides. And the same for the Befehlswagen Yak Panther, the premium one. If I could believe... That's right there. I'm blind. Yeah, I mean... Those models have always been extremely similar, with the exception of the antenna. So yeah. Russia also gets a pair of new models, the Is1 and Is-2. I'm not a big fan of this one. It looks too new. Like, we need to be down here at 25% for it to really look good. And at 100% it just looks like a bloody toy. And I mean, the Is-2 is literally the same vehicle, but with a different gun, so not much there. Britain gets the AA that should have been given instead of the Skink. The Skink should still have gone in the US3, and pretty much nothing you say can change my mind on that. We got the Busvac, South African vehicle. Truck with the twin 23s, we already know those, we have them on the BTR. Well, the 23s themselves, we have on a lot more stuff actually, but yeah. Gonna be a fun little, well, it's not so little, it's gonna be a fun big truck to roam around in, and I don't know, I'll probably use it more than the Skink. It'll probably end up at the same BR as the Skink as well anyway. But the guns just have a little bit more punch against ground targets, and they have a better rate of fire. If you just get near some vertical cover, you're fairly survivable. Ammo count not great, but that's really the only downside. Got nothing on ground for Japan. We got, well, the Is-2 model for China has been updated as well. I mean, again, it's just... Isn't even the same hue of green? I think so. But we have the Tor M1, a Russian SPAA that fires its missiles vertically. And it was shown on the dev stream as well, so you've probably seen it already. Should have some pretty good radars, though. I mean, it's fairly modern, it's still in use. Italy gets a new low BR meme machine, the AS4247. Well, the little AA car with effectively the same gun as the MBTs and an absolute shit ton of ammo. Definitely wouldn't recommend bringing full ammo, even though you only have 2 crew. Is it actually the same gun? It is the exact same gun. So that's gonna be fun. High speed bullying. Well, it's not gonna be very accurate at high speed. France gets a infrared AA. I mean, it's nice to have something between 8.3 and 10.0, I suppose, but infrared is not exactly the best. But they have a bit of a problem countering helicopters. A lot of the helicopters you can't log onto until they're within 3-kilometer range, so that's not great. But still, nice to see. Nice to see some vehicles added to the smaller nations. Now we got the whole shebang. We got the Finnish ground tree, which a lot of people have complained that it's just copy-paste, but honestly, looking through it, it gives Sweden some new viable BR setups, lineups. For example, with the T28, we now have a viable 1.7. With that, the SAF, the IKV, I mean, there is a decent amount of options. Same with the T34 and the Panzer 48. They now go nicely along the SAF 20. Ooh, excuse me. And the PVKV3. PT76B is a bit of an outlier, but you can make a very potent 5.7 lineup now. Unlike before, where you had literally one 5.7 tank and would have to back it up with 5.0 and a 4.7. Well, it wasn't 4.7 back then. Charioteer, again, bit of an outlier. I suppose you could use it to back up the 7.3, 7.0 sort of line. C54, nice having another MBT that's not an STRV 103, as those are extremely niche vehicles. So nice to have some extra backup there. Now we have the T72 M1, which actually is a little bit different, at least. Starters, we got, I believe at least, a little bit of extra armor welded to the front. Not sure if the standard T72 has that. And we get, well, not an awful lot else that's unique. But that's a nice paint job. I really like the paint job. Plus, it's gonna be fun to put that in a lineup with, like, Leopard. Or Leopard. It's just gonna be fun. And then we have a Leopard 2A4. Which, I mean, it's just a 2A4. Currently, it doesn't even get the dozer blade that the standard 2A4 gets. So it's a little bit different from the Tech 3 counterpart. Well, I say Tech 3, the Swedish counterpart. And in the AA line, we got the ZSU 57-2, which, I mean, yeah, sure, nice to have an AA between 4.3 and 8.7. But, yeah, it's not the best AA. But I suppose it is still better than an LVKV 42. Lastly, for the ground forces, we have some of the most necessary and least necessary vehicles, all in the same tree. Israel finally gets an AA vehicle that they can bring in with their starter tanks. The TCM-20, which is essentially just the M16, but they mounted two 20 mils to the turret instead of the 450 cals. Those are effectively the same 20 mils as the Skink gets, so not an awful lot of difference. Well, a lot of the Brits gets. Still not the best fighting tank, but I mean, it is an AA at the end of the day. We got another ZSU 57. I will say I do kind of like this bluish color in it. Again, I mean, yeah, I suppose it's better than a half-track from World War II with a pair of 20mm, but it's not really much need for it. You got one lineup of 7.3 before you get to 7.7. And at 7.7 you got the Hobbit now. 8.0 you got the ZSU 23-4, the Shellcat. I mean, it does have a marginally better radar than the Hobbit, well, 163. I suppose, I mean, it's just nice with the option, I guess. But I feel like that wasn't really necessary. For the fleet, we got the Hugin. Little torpedo boat with a pair of the very rapid firing 40mm. Does it actually say? It does not actually say how fast it fires. That's great. But yeah, the post-war 40mm with the VT fuse and torpedoes. Not gonna be that amazing, I think. And for Japan, we have a 1944 refit Fuso with the massive fucking tower and lots and lots and lots and lots of short-range AA guns. Medium and long range still kind of sucks, so this is the DOS on basically all Japanese ships, but planes aren't likely to get away with doing an attack on you. You might get the attack off, but they're not gonna get out. Got a pair of new maps, some changes to enduring confrontation. The G91s can now drop bombs independently, all of them. Hang on, let me just, that's the wrong one, let me just find it. There we go. Bomb drops now independent. T67s, do I have one of those? I do, those are there. Oh, I thought there was a, I don't know. These now get the big ass 800kg bomb. That's actually kind of nice. Gonna make them fun to use on ground for CAS. And the Su-17M4, that one, has had H23 rockets removed. Don't actually know which ones those were, but I've covered it now. Bunch of bug fixes, mostly minor things like external ordnance clipping into each other and stuff like that. Some changes to a lot of radar warning systems, but again, I mean, that's not really anything major. Secondary weapon customization has been added for all the Harriers. Buccaneers, though the Buccaneers are currently bugged on the dev server, I think, because I can load less onto this in the customs than I can by just picking one of the presets. So that's probably bugged currently. Some of the Virtuas get custom loadouts as well. I believe that is the old Virtua Premium for France and the Virtua 2B. And that's really it. Other than, of course, the fact that the Churchill Crocodile was announced as well, along this patch. It's basically just a Churchill 7 with the machine gun replaced by a flamethrower and a trailer. And to be honest, I'm more excited about the fact that they're adding a vehicle with a trailer than one with a flamethrower, because certain other vehicles in the game, such as, where the heck is it? Why can I never find what I'm looking for? This guy, the 9053 M41M, could actually carry a trailer of additional ammunition. So that would be kind of cool to see that. And just, in general, it gives a bit more freedom to what we can see in the future. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.